Most of us, especially guys, step into the gym with one main mission: build muscle. And somewhere along the way, we're told that bigger muscles automatically mean bigger lifts. The logic sounds simple. The most muscular guy in the room should be the strongest, right? Well, yes and no. There's definitely overlap. In general, gaining muscle increases your potential for strength. Especially as a beginner, the moment you start training consistently, you'll grow and get stronger at the same time. That's because your body is responding to a completely new stimulus. Even modest resistance training triggers muscle protein synthesis, neural adaptations, and improved coordination. Early on, progress comes fast. But here's the key point. While muscle size and strength are related, they are not identical. And with specific training, you can bias one more than the other. Let's start with strength. Strength adaptations are driven heavily by increases in contractile proteins, actin and myosin. These are the proteins inside muscle fibers that physically produce force. More contractile tissue generally means more force output. But muscle tissue isn't the only factor. One of the biggest contributors to strength, especially in the first few months, is neural adaptation. When you begin lifting, your nervous system simply gets better at the task. You improve motor unit recruitment, meaning you activate more muscle fibers at once. You improve rate coding, which is how quickly your nervous system sends signals to contract. You also improve synchronization between muscle groups. In simpler terms, your brain gets better at using your muscle. That's why someone can dramatically increase their squat within weeks without gaining much visible size. They're not necessarily building tons of new muscle yet, they're becoming more efficient. Technique also plays a massive role. The better your mechanics, the more force you can apply to the bar. Small adjustments in bar path, bracing, and positioning can significantly increase output. Strength is partly skill. Then there's biomechanics. Limb length, tendon insertions, joint structure. These influence leverage. Someone with shorter femurs may have an easier time squatting heavy. Someone with long arms may excel at deadlifting. These structural differences affect how force is applied to a load. Now let's talk about muscle growth. Just like strength, hypertrophy involves increasing contractile proteins. This is called myofibrillar hypertrophy, actual growth of the muscle fibers themselves. But there's another concept often discussed: sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. This refers to increases in the non-contractile components of muscle cells, fluid, glycogen, enzymes, and other cellular elements. Instead of adding more force-producing proteins, the muscle expands by increasing stored energy in cellular volume. Research suggests that both types likely occur, though the exact balance isn't fully understood. Some evidence indicates that higher volume training may increase cellular swelling and glycogen storage more significantly, while heavy, strength-focused training may bias contractile growth, but the literature is still evolving. What we do know with much more confidence is how training variables affect outcomes. For hypertrophy, total training volume is a major driver. Volume is typically calculated as sets times reps times load. The more quality work you accumulate within reason, the more stimulus you provide for growth. Studies consistently show that performing multiple sets per muscle group per week leads to greater hypertrophy compared to minimal volume. Many bodybuilders use 3 to 5 sets of 8 to 12 reps because it's time efficient and allows substantial volume at moderate loads. But interestingly, research shows muscle growth can occur across a wide rep spectrum, from as low as 5 reps to as high as 30 or more, provided the sets are taken close to failure and total volume is sufficient. So muscle growth is flexible. You don't have to live in one rep range. Strength, however, is less flexible. If your goal was to lift heavier weights, intensity becomes the dominant variable. Intensity refers to how heavy the weight is relative to your 1 RM. Strength adaptations are maximized when training in higher intensity ranges, typically 85 to 100% of your 1 RM. Research comparing low-rep heavy training to high-rep lighter training consistently shows superior strength gains in the heavy groups, even when muscle growth is similar. That's because lifting heavy specifically trains your nervous system to produce high force output. There's also evidence that for strength improvements, you don't necessarily need massive volume. Some studies have shown comparable strength gains between single-set and multi-set groups when intensity is matched. That doesn't mean volume is useless, it just highlights that intensity is king when strength is a priority. Simply put, if you want to lift heavy, you have to practice lifting heavy. Now here's the reality. Most people want both, bigger size and bigger strength. That's where programming strategy matters. A balanced approach might involve moderate to heavy loads in the 6 to 10 rep range while accumulating sufficient weekly volume. Another strategy is periodization, alternating phases. For example, several weeks emphasizing hypertrophy with higher volume, followed by a strength-focused phase, emphasizing heavier loads and lower reps. Both methods work. The key is clarity. Know your priority. At the physiological level, strength and muscle growth overlap, but they diverge in emphasis. Muscle size responds strongly to volume in proximity to failure. Strength responds strongly to intensity in neural efficiency. Understanding this difference changes how you train. It stops you from chasing pump-style workouts while expecting powerlifting numbers. And it stops you from doing only heavy singles while wondering why your physique isn't changing much. Train with intention. So now I want to hear from you. Are you chasing bigger numbers, bigger arms, or both? Drop your goal in the comments. If this breakdown helped clarify things, hit the like button and share it with someone who thinks bigger automatically means stronger. Thanks for watching, and as always, get your protein in.